Greetings and welcome to the Student Entrepreneurship Week 2020. My name is Dr Chimucheka from the University of Fort Hare. I will be speaking to you on a topic, the need for a business plan. I know I'm speaking mainly to studentpreneurs, students who are pursuing their academic life and also at the same time working on their business ventures. Some have already established their own businesses. Some are in the process of establishing their own businesses. I will be speaking on the need of a business plan because personally, I believe business plans are important. So as a way of introduction, it is important for us to realize that entrepreneurship is important. It is important in addressing challenges that we face in our communities. Today, we face a number of challenges. We speak of poverty, unemployment, inequality. There is also COVID-19 and many other challenges that we can speak of. In all these challenges, we must also know that as such challenges come, as such challenges face us, they also present a number of opportunities to studentpreneurs that can be pursued and exploited for the benefit of the community, and entrepreneurs also benefit. Studentpreneurs should also take note of the importance of business plans as they establish and operate their entrepreneurial ventures. So as you plan to establish your business or as you are operating your business, it is important for you to realize the importance of a business plan. Many people speak of business plans as important only when they need to access bank loans. But today I'm saying business plans are actually important, not only for bank loans, but they are important for a number of reasons. Just to understand what a business plan is, because you can take it for granted that everyone understands, but it is always important to go back and see what a business plan is. There are a number of definitions, but I chose only two. A business plan is defined as a written document or as a written roadmap of where a business venture is headed to, what it has to do to get there, and what it will look like on its arrival. Kuratko describes a business plan as an entrepreneur's roadmap to success. A roadmap to success. I know there are people who say, no, if you do not know where you are going, any road can take you there. So there may not be any need to plan. But the problem is you will also not know when you have achieved. You will not also know where you are going right and where you are going wrong. So you need a roadmap to success, which is a business plan. It is a written document that details the proposed venture. It describes the current status of the business venture, its expected needs, and also projected results. So you can actually use it to see where, to state where you want to go, how you are going there, what you will need to get there, and what will show that you are actually there. So this is an important document that every entrepreneur needs, that every studentpreneur needs. Whether you are already operating your business without a business plan, or if you are still at idea stage and you are planning on establishing your business, you ought to put it on paper so that you know where you are going and how you will get there. Why business plans are important? Why are these documents important? They are so important to a point that even banks request entrepreneurs to present business plans whenever they apply for funding. The same with investors. They want you to pitch your business plan whenever you want investment funding. So they are important also for those reasons. Business plans are used for a number of reasons, and they are important for businesses to survive and to be competitive. So even for survival, business plans are important. For you to be competitive, to be better than your competitors, you also ought to have a business plan. They are used also to determine the chances of success and can also be used to raise capital and debt finance. So they can be used to raise equity and also to raise debt finance. A business plan, according to Erasmus and others, can be used to accomplish three objectives, namely to identify and describe the nature of business opportunity or the nature of the new venture. So it is important in describing the nature of the business or the nature of the opportunity that will be pursued. You ought to understand it. What is it that you do in your business? Some entrepreneurs cannot answer that simple question. What does your business do? That ought to be described in the business plan. Another objective is to present a written plan on how an entrepreneur or business owner plans to exploit the opportunity. How do you plan to exploit that opportunity that you have described? How are you going to exploit it in a profitable manner? It is also used to attract investors and to persuade banks for finances. So from banks, we normally get debt finance. From investors, you get equity. So in both investors and banks, they will also need you to present a business plan before they can provide finances to you. Coming to the need for a business plan, these I also got them from a textbook that is readily available in most of our libraries. You can also buy it. It was written by Erasmus and others. A business plan is needed by an entrepreneur to sell the business to himself or to herself. So to convince yourself that the business idea that you are pursuing actually works, you will need a business plan. Put it in writing, go through it, evaluate it, and see if it works. See if it's worthy pursuing. See if it's worthy sacrificing resources for. So to sell that particular business to yourself, you will need to have put it on paper so that you can really see it, critique it, analyze it, so that you understand and you can convince yourself on whether that business idea or that business opportunity is worth it or it's not. There's other two reasons are common. Business plans are used to obtain bank finance. Like it or not, without a business plan, you cannot access bank loans. To evaluate on whether you can be funded or not, banks require you to submit a business plan. And most people have been turned away by banks, or many people have had their applications turned away by banks because they did not have business plans, or because their business plans did not convince banks, were not real enough to convince the banks that they can earn their returns. The same also applies with investors. Before they put their money into your business, they want to see if that idea works, if your business works. So they require a business plan. You ought to submit or to present to them your business plan. Besides just the issue of funding, besides loans, besides investment funding, business plans are also important when you want to arrange for strategic alliances. When you want to work with other businesses, they will also need to know about your business. So you will need a business plan to also show them what you are about, what is it that you do in your business, how do you do things in your business, and so forth. Business plans are also needed when you want to obtain large contracts, tenders in other organizations, or when you want to obtain large contracts from other companies. They may also request you to provide information about your business, how you operate, and that information is supposed to be in a business plan. Business plans are also important to attract key employees, employees with key competencies, key skills, employees that add value in your company or that add value in your business. They do not just join because they want to assist you. They do not just join because they know you. They are more concerned about their job security as employees. So for them to understand how their jobs will be secure, how long they will be working for your organization, or how long your company will be in existence, they may actually need to see a business plan. They may actually need to evaluate the business plan for themselves so that they see on whether it is worth it to join you or not worth it to work for you. A business plan is also important to motivate and to focus your management team. It is one thing to have management in your company or in your business. It's another thing having management that actually knows what you want to achieve as a business. So there are managers who may just be there in your business, but they do not know what you want to achieve. But if you want to focus your management team, if you want to motivate them and encourage them in your business, you ought to share information about your business with them. They ought to know what your business is about, how things work in your business, what is it that is expected of them in your business, so that they know when they are on track or when they are actually losing it. So if you put everything on paper, it becomes easy, not only for you, but also for your employees and also for your managers. It becomes easy for your internal stakeholders and also for your external stakeholders. And once things are easily understood by your stakeholders, both internal stakeholders and external stakeholders, things will also work to your advantage as an entrepreneur. So for these reasons, you need to prepare a business plan. You need to have a business plan that you know. Just one advice, while business plans are very important, they are very important documents, you need to prepare them yourself, or when you ask for the assistance of consultants, you ought to ensure that information that is put in that document is coming from you. They must not provide their professional information or put professional information into your document. A business plan should speak to your business. It should reflect about your business. So consultants do not know your business. They do not know what you want to achieve. If you do not share that information with them, they will end up putting whatever they think is appropriate in a business plan, and they will present it to you. If you take it to the banks or to investors, it can still be turned away, whether you've paid consultants or not. So my advice is, when that document is prepared, be there if you decide to use consultants. Otherwise, you can also prepare it yourself. There are many textbooks, there are many templates of business plans that you can use from banks, from a number of experts that you can actually use to prepare a business plan for your own business without even seeking services from consultants. I'm not fighting consultants, but my point is, if you have a business plan in your business, it ought to speak to your business. it ought to speak to your business. It must not speak to what consultants think should be in the business, but it should speak to what is happening in your business and to what should happen in your business. On that note, also, I should state that some people just end up paying a number of consultants just to do their business plans because it's needed somewhere. It's urgently needed somewhere. But my advice remains, you ought to prepare it yourself. If you cannot prepare it yourself and you seeking services of consultants, please ensure that information that is put in that business plan has come from you. While business plans are important, it is also important to realize that business plans cannot predict the future. They cannot predict the future, just as we cannot predict the future. But the fact that we cannot predict the future does not stop us from planning about the future. So the fact that business plans cannot predict the future does not mean that we should stop writing business plans. We write business plans, we draw up business plans for our businesses because they serve a number of reasons. As I said, although we cannot predict the future, even us as people, we do not stop planning about the future. You and me do not know what will happen tomorrow, but we do not stop planning about tomorrow. We plan about the future. Business plans cannot guarantee funding. They cannot guarantee funding. You can have it, you can draw it yourself, it can be drawn by other people. It doesn't guarantee that when you present it to the banks, they will grant you funding. They don't guarantee funding. Actually, while they do not guarantee funding, you must also realize that we should not stop preparing business plans for our businesses simply because they do not guarantee funding. Reason being, business plans are not prepared solely for the reason of obtaining bank loans and investment funding. There are other reasons that we ought to prepare business plans for, like to motivate yourself, to convince yourself, to motivate your employees, to attract key employees, to focus your management team, and to motivate your management team. So while they cannot guarantee funding, we should still prepare them for those other reasons and also to obtain funding. Because if you prepare it properly and if you meet all the other requirements that are expected by the banks or investors, you can still obtain it. And one thing for sure is without a business plan, banks will not grant you credit. The same with investors. They will not put money into your business if you do not have a business plan. Business plans cannot fool people all the time. They cannot fool all people all the time. So some people use business plans to make things look as if their businesses work, when in actual fact, things are the other way around. So you mustn't try to cheat using business plans. They should actually describe your business. They should explain what you want to achieve in your business and how you plan to achieve it. There is no need to cheat. There is no need to lie in that document, because it is a document that you are preparing to convince yourself and also to convince and motivate your internal stakeholders and your external stakeholders. So if you try to lie to yourself, things may not work as you expect. It is good to be ethical. It is just good to be good. Business plans are important to studentpreneurs. As a student, whilst you are planning to venture into business, whilst you are still planning to start your business, put it in writing. Write it down so that you can be able to describe your business, so that you can be able to explain how you want to achieve that which you have set your business to achieve. How are you planning to exploit the opportunity that you have identified? Put it in writing so that it becomes easy for you to explain even to your employees, to convince your management team, even to analyze it and to assess it yourself. It is important to put it down. Write it on paper. Write it down so that you can refer to it, so that you can read it to see if you are still on track or if you have lost track. It is not only about obtaining bank loans, as most people think that business plans are only prepared when you need funding from elsewhere. It is not only about obtaining bank loans. As you have seen, we prepare business plans for a number of reasons. It is not only to obtain bank loans. It is not only about loans from banks. Actually, it is about success. It is about success. You ought to know what your business is all about, how things work in your business, how things ought to work in your business, how things should be done in your business. That should be put down. Business plans remain a roadmap to success. You need a business plan, whether it's still at idea stage or you are establishing your business or you have established it, but you have not put it down. You ought to put it down so that you can be able to evaluate yourself on whether you're still going according to your plan. These are some of the texts that I have referred to in preparing for this presentation. These texts are available in most of our libraries. They are also available in a number of bookshops. You can buy them and use them. Thank you so much for spending time in this presentation. Just to say that when you are preparing a business plan, as I said, it's not a complicated process. It's something that you can actually do for yourself. You can do it yourself. Most of the textbooks in entrepreneurship, most of our South African texts, they actually provide a step-by-step process on how to prepare a business plan. So it should not be something that people are afraid of. It should not be something that you can be afraid of. Put your idea on paper. Put it in a business plan so that you can be able to refer to it. You can be able to explain it so that you can even be able to refer other people to your own plan so that they can do what you ought or what they ought to do in your business. Thank you so much. I wish you success in your own ventures. I wish you success in your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you so much.